Thank you guys for joining. Taylor and Jay and Bill and Chris, you guys met last year, and then Jimmy is the head and founder of Beyond the Brotherhood, and Jocko is a founding board member. And I invited Chris and Taylor today to join this conversation about the swim. It's a big year, the 25-year anniversary of 9/11. They've got a lot going on, and you guys could not ask for more passionate advocates for our country than Chris and Taylor, which is even more impressive because Taylor's Canadian. Jimmy, do you want to just give a quick background? I know you've recorded many interviews about why you started Beyond the Brotherhood, but obviously you saw a need and it wasn't being met elsewhere. What were some of the biggest hurdles and what made this path, one that you chose? Because it's not an easy one.
Yeah, Megan, thank you for setting this up. And Chris and Taylor, thank you for joining. Jocko, good to see you, brother. Megan, when I started, I couldn't even spell 501c3. I had no idea about what to do. I did 22 years in SEAL teams. I did a deployment with Jocko. Within 4 months of my retirement, 4 of my teammates died by their own hand. I just pieced together every conversation. What did I miss? How do we fix this? And I didn't even know where to start, but I knew I had to start somewhere. And it's a true grassroots movement. I knew I couldn't do it on my own. And so I had to start reaching out to teammates. And along the way, I picked up allies and friends. The Jay Redman and I go pretty long way back. After I got shot, he went and found me and gave me he started wounded wear. He did the same thing. And then I ran into Bill last year, and then he's been a force of nature pushing this swim and bringing us in. So, the allies just keep piling on, and we're starting to see this momentum move as people realize what these men have gone through.
For some, success is a good job, a family, healthy kids. And for some, success is just being able to get out of bed in the morning. How does Beyond the Brotherhood address SEALs in both those scenarios?
I think one of the ways we do this in SEAL teams is a very common thing we call mission, team, self. You start off with the mission, make sure that gets done. After that, you look after your team. And after that, you look after yourself. Most of our guys are looking for a challenge. They're not looking for handouts. They're looking for just a little leg up and just a clue where to go. And we've decided to provide community purpose and goals for our nation's greatest warriors. But also, we'll handle an internship for our guys. If we have a guy that comes in and he thinks he wants to get involved with maybe just say the steel industry or the oil and gas industry or something, and we'll call up one of our partners and we'll put them in and they'll work with them for a while. My thought was, I can't help everybody, but let's try and put our rounds where they count. We start them off, we end up building a pipeline throughout the years, and it's actually been really successful. So we started as we're on our 3rd year. We've had 0 suicides. That's what Beyond the Brotherhood is. I called Jocko, I was just like, buddy, I need a favor. Whatever it is, the answer is yes, call me tomorrow. And that's how he got on our board.
So Jocko, you built up a wonderful career and you helped so many other veterans and you give them a platform, but Beyond the Brotherhood didn't exist until Jimmy created it. So why do you think some veterans successfully transition into a meaningful civilian life? And how does Beyond the Brotherhood mend that gap?
The biggest thing is, I always tell veterans, when you get done with the military, you got to find a new mission. And that seems like it's no big deal, but it's kind of a big deal when for your, 20 or 15 or 25 years, you've woke up every day and you had something to do. You had a bunch of friends that were trying to do the same thing. And it's a very honorable mission and it's very focused. And then one day you turn in your ID card and your swipe card for the building, you clean out your locker and it's all gone.
I saw so many friends struggling with it. Individuals who had so much more of an abrupt transition when they would leave the military and they would be part of especially in our community, the special operations community, we are a unit that goes 100 miles an hour, whether training or war, and then suddenly that all comes to a grinding halt and you lose this brotherhood and you lose this intense purpose.
If you don't have anything else to fall back on, you don't have a new mission, that's when guys, I think, really have trouble. Guys just get kind of lost and they don't have a new mission. So I think Beyond the Brotherhood is a really good way to take guys, show them how the skills that they learned inside the military, inside the SEAL teams, can be transferred very directly to some other mission in the civilian sector.
Are certain industries easier for them to adapt to?
It's all over the map, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've got guys crushing it in commercial real estate, residential real estate, the steel industry. I mean, that's all over the map. Most of the time it has to do with where they live because, their families, they've been gone 300 days a year and their families usually want to get them back into the fold.
Well, before we jump into the swim part of it, I just wanted to bring Chris Pratt into the conversation. He has used his platform to honor our servicemen and our veterans. And Chris, you've gone the extra mile in hiring veterans in the Terminalist set. Now it's been 5 years, right, since you filmed that first one. And Looking back, is there anything that you can share now, any valuable insight or something that even Jimmy could use when he's, talking to the veterans about assimilating into the workforce that you learned from that maybe you didn't expect?
For us, working on the terminal list, we ended up hiring a lot of people, originally tech advisors. The point of having so many special operators and former SEALs on the show, the terminal list, was really about trying to just be authentic. And because my partner on it's a former SEAL, Jared Shaw, executive producer, plays Boozer on the show, now prolific in the film and television industry in his own right. He came on, was kind of just training me. He's the one who found Jack Carr's book, another SEAL. We found this incredible symbiosis. The special operators just streamlined so well into the film and television industry. So in terms of like industry that your guys are going for, there's ever anything I can do or someone feels like that's a path that they are called towards, like Jared was, I would love to do what I can to try to help. I've seen this catharsis and with so many of our special operators who come on. Of the show that Taylor and I, that he starred in, 5 of the 7 episodes were written by veterans, and we had, I think, around 30 veterans on the set, in and around the set, in front of the camera, behind the camera, producers, writers, actors, stunts, props department. There's a great avenue for people in the military. And some of the similarities are you're following a specific chain of command. It's a very collaborative effort. You don't have to keep pushing. It's like, no, it's already handled. And they're not only have they handled that, they're off finding someone else who needs help and they're handling that. Like, not only are they showed up on time to get the work done, the grips are moving stuff and they're over there grabbing carts of stuff and moving stuff. It's just like this really incredible spirit, drive, integrity, and ability to execute and just be accountable. And film and television industry is a fantastic place for spec ops guys to end up, because there's a home for you there and a purpose for you there. And we go to cool locations and we do hard stuff, and we do it together.
I think all of us need to continue to push forward to be successful. I want to do it because you look at how divided our country is. The most respected demographic in this nation is the veteran community. Everyone, right and left, looks up to our veterans. This swim is exactly that example. What Jimmy's doing in the SEAL community, if we can get our SEALs back out there leading, bringing teams together, showing they have a mission, this country needs that. So I think by doing it in the SEAL community, it will continue to expand into other communities, and that's critical right now in our nation.
Jay, it's really interesting how Jimmy said that you reached out to him. What made you reach out, and how often do you do that? And what kind of responsibility do you feel to help shepherd the other SEALs that have gone through similar experiences?
When I was wounded in the hospital, we were at the high point of the war. 06, 07 was probably the highest rate of casualties we had, probably in the entire 20-year war. In the very first several days, all around me in the hospital were young men and women who had been blown up, burned, shot, TBIs, all these things. And quite a few of them wanted to come meet me. This even before the sign on the door. I was a SEAL officer and they wanted to meet me because SEALs are expected to be tough. We're expected to be resilient. And I'll be honest, at first, I wasn't ready for that. I was still struggling to kind of figure out my own path and what had happened to me and how messed up I was. When I wrote the sign on the door, which happened probably 4 or 5 days later, I kind of realized, like, hey man, you're a SEAL. You need to lead. There were 2 things. Number 1, I wasn't going to allow somebody else to feel sorry for me. And that's a choice. It's a choice to do that. And number 2, I realized, like, hey man, these guys and gals in the beginning, they were coming to look to you. You need to set the example. This New York City swim, what Jimmy's doing with Beyond the Brotherhood, it's us doing what we need to be doing, which is setting the example.
In the teams, we kind of had this saying, like, my brother's keeper, we never leave a guy behind. And if you think about Beyond the Brotherhood, about Jimmy May's story, he lost some brothers that were overcome by combat anxiety or just anxiety with military service. He realized he had to do something about it. A lot of nonprofits I've seen, they kind of started with some great tragedy, and then these great people come together and try to fix it, try to help it, solve it.
I mean, this is where Howler's Rage stemmed from. My sister with the addiction side, and then the veteran side. I had this crazy idea to start Howler's Ridge, a place to be in nature, to take a breath, do breath work, counsel pre and post before you get there. And to Jocko's point, to everyone's point as well, is like, it's so mission oriented, and that mindset can be the best and the worst of you. With Howlers, our goal is to, at least before they integrate somewhere or are having these problems integrating, you want to be ready for that, and instead of just being thrown into it. So I think the goal, or part of the goal at Howlers, is for them to be okay with themselves before they move forward, and to take a breath and to understand and themselves even more through whatever trauma it is they're dealing with.
Veterans are conditioned, and men in general, I think, are conditioned to push through adversity, not really ask for help. And so Howlers Ridge gives them a place where they don't have to push, they can just heal.
In my experience, whether it's addiction or trauma, sometimes they're both, it's creating an environment of safety for you to change and for you to go through whatever it is you got to go through. And that's what we're essentially providing.
Is there something we can do to prepare our active service members so they don't hit rock bottom before they reach for help?
Not only can we do that, but really, guys never think about what they're going to do after their career, because you just never think about it. But you really should be preparing for getting out as soon as you get in. And I know that sounds crazy, and it's really hard for a freaking 18-year-old Jocko to be thinking about what he's going to be doing in 20 years when he retires, if he makes it that far. And that's the way we all think. But there are certainly things that we could do to get in earlier and really get guys set up for success much, much earlier than we do right now. When you're at the end of your career and you finally take a breath and look up and look around, you're at a disadvantage. So guys should be doing it much earlier, and I'm sure that's something we could work towards in the future.
Since this is really for Beyond the Brotherhood and it's an appeal to a larger audience, how would you recommend getting more people in the workforce in the civilian leadership positions to hire veterans?
So we have a program with Beyond the Brotherhood, and actually we use a lot of the existing programs. If someone wants to become a partner, all you got to do is go on beyondthebrotherhood.org, and then we will set you guys up and start you down the path. Not just a partner, a hiring partner, you can also decide to be a mentor, because that's one of the most important aspects of getting our guys out into the real world and figuring out, hey, this nation that you fought for does appreciate you, and there's good people out there. And it's so cool to link these guys up with a mentor, and they become like best buds down the way if it's done right.
This New York City Swim, what Jimmy's doing with Beyond the Brotherhood, we start to realize, wow, all these things that I learned in the military still have a place. This is an amazing nation that creates great opportunities with amazing individuals like Bill and Jimmy and others. The New York City SEAL Swim comes together to highlight that at a very high level.
Just for the folks that might be watching this who aren't fully aware of the swim portion of it, what's the challenge there?
The New York City SEAL Swim is really about adventure therapy, about sending a positive patriotic message. We start at Empty Sky Memorial to Liberty State Park. We do a flag run to the south side. We swim to a barge right off the Statue of Liberty, swim to Ellis Island, back into Jersey City. We raise money for groups that help SEALs, that help veterans, that help them through the transition process or through moments of crisis, or helps Gold Stars that lost loved ones. It's a lot of different levels of healing. And so that's really what the New York City SEAL Swim is about. It's a real positive, fun event. And one of the things that I think this swim does is it shows like it's cool to love your country and to be proud of your country and to honor those that have served. I had a real tough transition. And when I started doing some of these fun patriotic events, it was kind of uplifting for me.
To speak what Bill was talking about, we're from an incredible country, founded on something extraordinary, and this grand experiment was not a waste of time and a waste of effort the way a lot of people would have you think. And allowing people who have been deployed the platform to tell their stories is wildly important. I think stories do have a very important part in helping to shape the narrative that serving your country is honorable and that fighting for American ideals is the right thing to do. Stories are wildly important in shaping the minds of the next generation. I mean, I love America partly because I saw Red Dawn when I was a kid. I mean, like, stories are freaking important.
Chris and Taylor, it's been great what you've been able to do to elevate the SEAL community and tell their stories. Bill and Jay and Jocko and Jimmy, all, carrying the torch and turning around and helping the next person behind you. It speaks volumes about your character, and I really appreciate everything that you've done in continuing to serve beyond the uniform. We're out of time, but I just want to thank all, none of you need to be here. You guys are all super successful and setting the bar very high, but it means a lot. And hopefully from here, there'll be lots of ways to intersect in the future. Jocko, it was so nice to meet you. I've heard so much about you, and it's an honor. So thank you guys.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Support Beyond the Brotherhood and the Navy SEAL Swim, and hopefully get you guys there one year.
Love to. Sign me up. Let's go.
And Chris and Taylor, you guys, thank you guys so much for, helping push the word out. Jocko, you've been with me every day. Thank you guys for stepping up for us, stepping up more than just for us, for our brothers that are behind us that need it. And just grateful. Thank you.
You guys I salute you. Thank you for helping us.
I'm happy to be on this call to do anything I can to help you on your mission. It's an awesome thing that you're doing. I really appreciate you guys, everything you've sacrificed and what you continue to do to be of service to your brothers and to this country.
It's an honor to be a part of this group, to be a part of these families, and to give back any way we can. We're going to do it.